In this video, we'll discuss how to detox the brain naturally. Hi ladies and gentlemen, it is Dr. Zarowski, and if you are new to the channel, it is a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join our notification community so I can help you excel your health and your life. In this video, we're talking about how to detox the brain naturally. This is so important because there's many people today who are suffering from neurological conditions and psychiatric disorders as a result of a very unhealthy brain. And so when we look at the brain, what happens is it can become very neurotoxic. And so the cool thing about the brain is it actually has its own ability to detox. And so when we look at the brain and its ability to detox, there's a set of enzymes called the cytochrome P450 enzymes. And what they do is they actually break down toxins and remove them from the brain. But what happens, unfortunately, is when the brain becomes inflamed, the brain is not functioning well, the brain's unhealthy, essentially what happens is this detox system within the brain stops functioning correctly and the brain becomes very toxic. And so what we have to do is we have to make sure that the brain has proper micronutrient function, it has antioxidants in order to reduce free radical damage. And so what we're going to talk about is the top micronutrients and antioxidants that you can use in order to support brain health, support brain detoxification, and keep your brain functioning at optimal levels. Now, I also want to mention that this is part 2 of a brain detox video series that I did. And so if you haven't seen part 1, I'll link that in the description below because it might help this make a little bit more sense and also really stress the importance of brain detox. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first ingredient on our list here is going to be ALA, which stands for alpha lipoic acid. You're going to see me use a lot of different abbreviations because these words are all very large. We would have been way off the board in order to get them all on. And so alpha lipoic acid is very important in this process because it acts as both a water-soluble fat and antioxidant. Now, this is really important in order to support intracellular and extracellular antioxidant protection in the brain in order to reduce free radical damage. Now, the other reason that ALA is really great is because it has a very low molecular weight. It's easily absorbed in the gastrointestinal tract. It also is able to cross the blood-brain barrier, so it's able to actually get to the brain in the first place. And then it supports recycling and regeneration of key antioxidants like glutathione, vitamin C, and vitamin E. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that when it comes to glutathione, it's important not only to supplement with it, but also to make sure that you are working on recycling it. And so let's go ahead and talk about the next ingredient here. And then the next one is phosphatidylserine. So when we look at phosphatidylserine, it is a very potent phospholipid that is in the brain in very high amounts. And so what we look at when we see phosphatidylserine is its important role in neuronal energy production and communication. When we look at the different studies out there that are done on people who have supplemented with phosphatidylserine, what it shows is that it actually increases both memory and cognitive function of the brain. So what we want to do is actually use this phosphatidylserine to act as a nutritional support and structural support for the brain. The next key nutrient in the detox process is going to be NAC, which stands for N-acetylcysteine. Now, N-acetylcysteine is a precursor to the brain's most powerful and potent antioxidant, glutathione. So as we raise N-acetylcysteine levels, we raise glutathione levels, and as a result of that, what we're going to have is we're going to have a decrease in free radicals in the brain and a decrease in oxidative stress and oxidative damage in the brain. So this is absolutely crucial and absolutely key to detoxing the brain. The next ingredient here in the brain detox process is acetyl L-carnitine. This plays a multifaceted role as a neuroprotector. It also is very important in producing neuronal energy. And so what we're going to find is that this acetyl L-carnitine is going to act as a very powerful antioxidant that protects us against toxic chemicals and stress-induced damage. It also is going to help carry good nutrients into the mitochondria and help carry the waste from the mitochondria. And the last thing that the acetyl L-carnitine is going to do and support us in this process is it's going to actually support the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which is very important for both learning and concentration. The next key ingredient on our list is going to be CoQ10. And for some of you, you may be thinking, finally, something I've actually heard of. But when we look at CoQ10, it also is a very powerful antioxidant in this whole process. It's going to support the electron transport chain, which is ultimately going to increase ATP within the cell, which is ultimately going to increase cellular energy. Now, as a result of this, we're going to see a support in decreasing free radical damage. We're also going to see support in reducing the oxidative stress and damage on the brain, which ultimately is going to decrease neurodegeneration. Now, the last ingredient here and a key nutrient that we have on our list is sulforaphane glucosinolate, and this is probably one you haven't heard of. Now, this is a very powerful ingredient and nutrient for many reasons. And so, first of all, what it's going to do is upregulate the NRF2 system, which is going to increase antioxidant activity, and it's also going to upregulate phase 2 detoxification, which is very important for removing toxins from the body, such as xenobiotics. And so, when we look at all these different key nutrients here, they're all very important in the detox process in supporting the brain health. There's so many people out there who are suffering from neurodegeneration, psychiatric disorders, and the list goes on and on. So in order to really detox the brain, get those toxins out, decrease brain inflammation, and really support the overall brain health, these are where you really need to go. Now, we do a lot of different detox in the clinic with different patients, okay? So we actually have a formula that we use that includes all of these, okay? Some people may just want individual nutrients here, and for the people who are really looking to make some effort towards better brain health, then they use this formula, and we use it day in and day out, and it offers incredible brain support for our patients. And so I'll put a link to that below, but once again, utilize these different nutrients here, because this is what is really necessary to detox the brain and offer the proper brain support that is necessary for good brain health for a long period of time. And so give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that they know how to properly detox the brain. And then if you have any questions, put it in the comments section below. I always do my best to never talk over anybody's heads in my video, but I understand that this one was a little bit heavy. And so put any questions you have in the comments section below, and then check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel here, and I'll see you in the next video.